Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. So in my very first video, I listed the roles and the responsibilities of an RTE. One of them is the Scrum of Scrum, also known as the SoS. So I actually came up with this concise and short list so that for those who need ideas, who need input, who need something to actually kick off their career with, to have this by the side when they facilitate this particular event. Okay. So I came up with a checklist. I also came up with the questions that you should ask during the Scrum of Scrum and the to-do list, what you should do at the end of the Scrum of Scrum. Okay, so the time box for the Scrum of Scrum meeting is usually between 15 to 30 minutes. It's also advisable for you to reserve some time for if the teams they have further discussion, right? We call those items that are put there that are put in the parking lot. Okay, so what you should do, especially if your teams are very new, they don't have Scrum of Scrum in place, they're just transiting from Waterfall and they're actually implementing SAFe. What you should do, your checklist should have these items. You should establish the time for the Scrum of Scrum event. You want to discuss with your team in general. Hey team, or I want to schedule this event for the Scrum of Scrum. What time, what day do you think will be ideal? Yes, it is always good. You don't have the right to dictate to them. Don't forget, as an RTE, you are a servant leader. You serve in your team, you're helping them to deliver value, you're driving and you're managing the team. So what you should do is discuss the time, discuss the day. In my previous organization, we used to have our Scrum of Scrum every Thursday. And some people, they do theirs every Tuesday, some Mondays. It depends on the agreement, okay? You also want to take into consideration the time zones. If you have all your teams in the same geographical location, or maybe in the same time zones, beautiful. You want to take that into consideration. But there are times that you have teams in different geographical location. Like in my last place of assignment, I had teams in India, I had teams in Sydney, I had teams in the US, and I also had teams in the UK, right? So we really had to like come to an agreement. We took into consideration the different times, what happens in the different time zones, and you also want to look at the culture, right? Of the people that you're dealing with. So those are actually taken into consideration. You want to schedule the meetings. If you're using your Zoom, if you're using your Teams, you want to schedule the meetings, attach the email address of each of your invitees, and you communicate, you send it out to them. Okay, so that they can have it in their calendar scheduled. You want to ensure that the time is reserved for meet after. The meet after is what we call the parking lot items, so that if they need it, yes, they can actually meet after the Scrum of Scrum and discuss it. You want to also look at the program board. You want to look at the PI objectives, and you also want to look at the risk registers. And who are your attendees? Your attendees are all the Scrum Masters in your art. Yes, I remember in my previous place of assignment, I was assigned 5 art. Yes, 5 art, and I had about 27 Scrum teams. So all the Scrum Masters in your art needs to be there because you need updates. Yes, you need updates from each and every one of them. So what are the questions that you should ask during the Scrum of Scrum meeting? Before you kick off the meeting, I advise you as an RTE, please log in 15 minutes before time. You want to be sure that your audios are working very well. You want to be sure that your videos are working very well. You also want to make sure that things are in place, the things that needs to be in place, the agenda that you need to discuss, other things that you need to say, you already have them figured out. You pull up your program board. You want to have everything set up. And you also want to be the one to welcome your Scrum Master. Yes, you should be the one to welcome them. So, and also, I need you to understand that you are also the timekeeper. So if you're saying this meeting is going to last for 30 minutes, it should not exceed 30 minutes. If you're saying it's going to last for 15 minutes, it shouldn't exceed 15 minutes. So let us go into the questions that you should ask them. You want to get them to update their risk and impediments that they were previously raised in the meeting. So let's say you guys met the previous week and they told you, they gave you updates on your risk and impediment. You want them updated, right? You want everything to be up to date. The next question that you should ask them is the status of your PI objectives. Are they working towards the PI goal? And what is the PI for don't forget I said the PI simply stands for the program increment, right? You want to ask them, what is the status? What has been done so far? From the work that you guys have done so far, are we confident that we can actually meet our PI objective? You want to know, okay, right? You also want to update updates on the dependencies. What teams are the producing teams or the supplier team, and which teams are actually consuming it? For the teams that are the supplier, what have you done so far? Have you completed your work? Are you very sure that you will be able to complete so that the next team can pick up from where they need to start from, right? Don't forget that when you look at the program board, it actually shows you the dependencies. It shows you which team is the supplier. It shows you the one that is also the consumer team. So it is very, very transparent. It's not confusing. Don't panic. This is something that everyone can do. You also want to look at the Jira board. Are they updated? Some organizations, they use Jira, some use ADO. ADO simply means Agile DevOps. Whichever tool that you use for your project management, you should be able to see get an update, right? They should update it, get everything updated, and you can actually tell, okay, this is where we are right now at the moment. And another important reason why they need to update the Jira board and their ADO, and also why they need to update the risk and impediments, it allows the team, it allows the art to collectively identify impediments on time so that we can actually look at what should be done. How do we mitigate this risk that is about to happen? Do we have a mitigation plan in place? Okay, so I also want you to note that as a release train engineer, it is your duty to create a psychological safe environment to support the early identification of risk. How do you do that? To get the best from your team, to get them to actually speak up, you need to make them know that, hey, it is okay to fail. Hey, we need you to come up. Tell us the way it is. What is the issue on ground? No blame games. No. You don't want to practice the blame game here. So you want to make everyone comfortable to actually speak and not be penalized. When you do that, you're giving them the confidence to stand boldly and say, hey, this is likely to happen. Yes, we don't have anything in place except, they want to give you the scenarios that could actually prevent, or the scenarios that they have in place that could actually prevent the risk from happening. Or maybe there are no plans in place. This is likely to happen. The reason why they need to be free so that you can get the through picture of what is going on. You need those information so that you can escalate if it is necessary. Yes, it is your duty to communicate those risks that your Scrum Masters they give to you, or those updates on risk and impediment to your stakeholders. Yes, you want everyone to be in the know. You want everything to be transparent. Agile talks about transparency all the time. Yeah, with transparency, you're actually promoting uniqueness. You're actually promoting forthrightness. You're actually letting them know that, well, we are what we say we are, right? So at the end of your Scrum of Scrum, what you now say is, hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate your effort. Thank you for making sure that this PI objective is actually being worked towards. Thank you for making this collective effort. And you say, have a great day. You dismiss them, right? So at the end of the Scrum of Scrum, what you should do as an RT, you need to follow up on the risk. Yes, you need to follow up. Okay, yeah, this is the risk that team B or team A actually told me about. You need to follow up on the risk. You need to also follow up on impediments. You want to know, hey, what is actually causing this impediment? Why is this blocker still here? What are you doing to actually address it? You want to follow up with the teams to actually make sure that those impediments are addressed. Say, for example, team B is supposed to work on a feature, and something happens. Team B is supposed to actually deliver this feature in sprint 1, right? And towards the 7th day of the sprint, team B tells you, hey, we're not very sure that we'll be able to finish this feature because of this and because of that. You want to quickly run jump in and see that those impediments are kicked off of the way. Yes, it is your duty. You're also an impediment remover. Remember, I said in my first video that a release train engineer is a chief scrum master. And another thing, one last thing that you should do, you should update the program board to the present status. Whatever you have, whatever update that your scrum masters have given to you, you want it reflected in your program board for transparency, and also for transparency's sake, so that when your stakeholders, they click on it, they say, hey, yeah, this is where we are right now at this project. Yes, we actually, this thing is, these PR objectives can actually be accomplished in this PR. Hey, this feature can actually go out in this PR. Hey, this is this release date can actually be met. Don't forget that your program board also have your milestone. Those milestones can also be known as those releases that you intend to give to your customer. So when your program board is transparent, your stakeholders are confident. Your stakeholders can actually know, hey, yes, this company, they're actually working to make sure that we get this thing out to the customer. Yeah, so I want to thank you so much for having time, for sitting back to actually watch my video for today. I also would want to speak to those Scrum Masters that are scared, right? It is time to leave your comfort zone. A release train engineer is something that you can do. I want you to picture yourself as a Scrum Master, right? You're dealing with 2 teams, some 3 teams, right? But as an RTE, you're actually dealing with multiple arts. Some organizations can actually give you multiple arts. Ideally, you should have 1 or 2 arts, but some, because of, I don't know, because of their policies in place or because of the way they do their things, they assign more arts to you. So you're just dealing with more people, right? It is something that is doable. Leave your comfort zone. It is time for you to change your level. It is time. It is something that you can do. It is not difficult. So what I want you to do is click the subscribe button, like my channel, leave a comment if there's any topic, if there's any interview questions that you need me to answer for you. Drop your comment, leave those questions, and I'm going to do the video and send it to you right away. Thank you so much once again. My details are there. You can reach me on all social media, Centech Solutions. I'm in Instagram. I'm also in LinkedIn, and I'm also in Twitter. Yes, I'm in Twitter also. So drop your message, send me a DM. My email address is here, and my phone number also. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.